Hey there, loved ones. Welcome to week 9 of the Pride and Joy Predictions podcast, the series in which my friend Steve and I get together every week to discuss the latest happenings in the NFL and give our predictions for the upcoming week of games.
Yeah, it's hard to believe there we're only the halfway point of the NFL season there, basically.
Yeah, in some ways it feels like the season just started, and then in other ways it feels like it's almost over already. So it's
Mm-hmm.
it's a really weird feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But in week 8, Steve and I went 8-5.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately for me, I made a couple of questionable decisions because of my gimmicks. And because of that, John has continued to pull away, having a 10-3 record last week. So with him being the big winner and going 10-3, let's go ahead and take a look at the current standings and where we all stand right now. So, like I said, John is in first with 81, 39, and 1. I am in second with 76, 44, and 1. So John now has a 5-game lead on me, which is just the most lovely of things. And then Rev is in third, 74, 46, and 1. A two-way tie between Steve and Beegers at 73, 47, and 1. Followed by SDS at 72, 48, and 1. Papa Agron and Draz are tied, 71, 49, and 1. Followed by Alex Faye at 69, 51, and 1. Savage Owl at 68, 52, and 1. Buff has 67, 53, and 1. And then Troll has 47, 73, and 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I dropped my pen.
Is that like a mic drop?
It could be. It could be. Sometimes I drop things in like a similar fashion, like when I'm mad or something, I'll just like throw my pen down. But
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm very sad. We had a death in the pickems, and my pen died that I normally use to write everything. It refused to work. It didn't matter how many times I was scratching it on a
Mm-hmm.
fresh sheet of paper, no ink would come.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to get a new one, trying to match it to the same blue that I was using before, and I'm sad because I loved that pen. It was so good.
Yeah.
The
Rest
little
in
things
peace,
that make
man.
me sad. I know. Rest in peace, little pen. You'll be missed. But anyway, so on to the recap of week 8. It seemed like it was a decent week.
Mm-hmm.
There was a few surprises, but mostly it seemed to go kind of standard. There was a couple of things I felt really bad about, but we will talk about that in the honorable mentions. First up, though,
Mm-hmm.
we have our game of the week that Steve and I have agreed upon, and it is the Jets finally getting a good win after beating the Bengals.
Yeah, obviously. The main reason I thought they won the game is because earlier in the day there they lost one of their former players and Nick Marigold there. So I'm
Yeah,
sure that was motivation to help them win.
that's true. Yeah. RIP to him as well. It was just heartbreaking. He was so young. And I
Mm-hmm.
definitely do think that helped give a little added motivation. But
Mm-hmm.
from a game perspective, they just played a little bit chippy. And I was really happy because that's what I was going to look up. I
Mm-hmm.
figured it out. Thank you, Steve.
No
I
problem.
didn't look it up, so I'm going to just be kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. But from
Yeah.
what I was remembering, the Jets have kind of been pretty close to winning a lot so far this season. So to see them finally get a win after being so close was
Sure.
really, really good. I'm going to go ahead and let you take over the game a little bit
Yeah.
while I look at things so I can see
We got the
if I'm
stats
right.
there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was a close game right up till the end there. I feel the reason there is because of a great offense by the Jets there and how they managed to stop Joe Flacco is beyond me there.
Well, I mean, I will say, like, I think that their defense is definitely better than what Cincinnati's was. It always kind of
Mm-hmm.
has been. Cincinnati's defense is just not good, right? So
Mm-hmm.
letting them literally run all over them was kind of funny. Their offense was just Brees Hall. That's literally the only thing that made them win outside of their defense, containing the Bengals and kind of Zach Taylor's utter failure as a coach was not good at all. Okay, so tiny little break that Steve and I just had, but I found the stats that I was looking for on the Jets. So I said before that they've always been really close to winning, but could never really like get over the hump. And so I went back over their season so far. Week 1 was 34-32. Week 2 they did get obliterated, but it was by the Bills, so 30-10, but it was the Bills. Week 3, they lost 29-27 to Tampa. Week 4 was 27-21. Week 5 was 37-22. Week 6 was 13-11, and week 7 was 13-6. So they have been extremely close to winning.
Most of their games they lost there were by a touchdown or less there, basically.
Exactly. So they've been losing heartbreaking one-score games all season pretty much. So I'm so happy that they were finally able to put everything together and get a solid win. They really, really needed that.
Exactly. Do it for their coach, Aaron Glenn, there.
Right. And the fact that he was just, talking about the grit in his locker room speech when they won, that's the first one. Now you guys know how to do it. You know what the wins are. And now we can chain that. I'm going to say next year. I don't think we're going to be chaining a whole lot of wins this season. But if they stick with it and the ownership isn't stupid, like if they do what Sheila Ford Hamp did with Detroit, they could actually have something next year if they stick with the program. I don't think they're going to, because I do think that Woody Johnson is impatient and very reactionary as an owner. But I do hope for the best because I like Aaron Glenn. All right, and then regret of the week. Do you want to go ahead and take that first?
Okay, my regret is choosing the Bears to beat the Ravens there. With apologies to my friend Beegers there. I didn't expect Tyler Snoop Huntley to play lights out there. I just took him because I was expecting Cooper Rush to start the game there. How wrong was I there?
Yeah, that is very fair. I really don't know why they let Huntley go in the first place, because like watching him play, even when he played for them the last time that hi Dino, I knew you were going to start screaming today. Called it. Hi bud. I was very curious as to why they got rid of Huntley, because he's kind of like the perfect backup for Lamar Jackson, so them trying to play Cooper Rush when he doesn't run their style of offense, but Tyler Huntley does. I don't know why they ever got rid of him. So my regret is playing the protection game with Denver, despite me knowing in my heart of hearts that they'd be able to easily handle Dallas. Of course, now to be fair, I made that pick before knowing that the Cowboys D got completely decimated. So there's that. I made the pick before Diggs got sent to the IR, and then before the rest of their defense went down. So that's my only defense. And also, I was playing the protection game, and it worked. So that's great. I'm happy. And then we have honorable mentions, and I only wrote one down because Steve and I both kind of agreed on this team last week. It's the Falcons doing Falcons things.
Yeah.
They have got to be the most hilarious team in the league at this point.
Exactly.
Like,
they're my cursed team.
They are, and I don't understand. How do you get blown out by the Panthers and then beat the Bills, only to then get blown out by the Dolphins? I don't understand.
frustrating.
It is so frustrating because, like, again, just when you think you know them, they decide to be completely different than anything you ever knew about them. Atlanta. I don't understand you.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever will. All right, so are you ready to dive on into week 9?
Absolutely. And to start off with, we have 4 teams on the bye this week. We have the Cleveland Browns there. Despite losing to the Patriots, Myles Garrett had a big week there with a whole pile of sacks there.
Yep, he had 5 sacks by himself, and they still lost by 3 scores.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess he was the only player to show up for the Browns last week there.
Well, per the usual, but he chose this life. Everyone was talking about how mad he was on the sidelines. Mm-hmm. You chose the money, man. You chose the money, and you wanted to stay there knowing full well you weren't going anywhere. This is all on you. You can't be mad now.
Also, this week on the bye, we have the New York Jets coming off their win, as we discussed there.
Yeah.
Our game. And the Eagles there coming off their revenge win against the Giants there.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Giants later when we get to their game, but I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Let me just preface that by saying I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And finally, the Tampa Bay Bucks coming off a win, but bear in mind it was against the Saints there.
It was, yeah. And what was their score on that game, actually? Oh, 23-3. Never mind. It was bad. It was bad. They decimated the Saints on that one, so good on you. Yeah. Unfortunately, them being on the bye is not good for my fantasy team, but we'll make do.
Okay.
All right, so now we can head on into the Week 9 slate of games. First up, we have the Thursday Night Football game with the Ravens going to Miami.
Yeah, the big story of this game is the return of Lamar Jackson, obviously, there.
Yeah.
That'll give him a shot in the arm.
Yeah, he should be back and in full force, so about time.
And obviously, with Dolphins there, they come off that shocking win over the Falcons, as we discussed there.
Yeah, I don't... Who knew that all it would take for Tua to remember how to be a quarterback is losing one of his eyes?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
All of a sudden he can't see, but he can sure ball out. Like, okay. Again, just when you think you understand football, the game changes completely.
Exactly.
It's so stupid.
Yeah. So I'm hoping for Lamar to come out guns a-blazing there, and maybe Derrick Henry come up with a huge rushing game there and take the Ravens to beat the Dolphins there. So I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, exactly. He's 100% going to take the Ravens. We know this going in. So yeah, I am also in agreement, and I'm taking the Ravens on the road. Miami got blessed with the fact that they were playing Atlanta, which is a very stupid team, but the Ravens are not that one. So yeah, I think Ravens got this 100% all the way. No shot. Miami wins.
Yeah.
All right, and then next up, we go to Cincy, and we have the Bears going to the Bengals.
Yeah. The question is for the Bengals there, how is Joe Flacco's health there? What's the thing?
Last I seen, he is not likely to play, unfortunately. He has an AC joint. I'm not sure if it's a tear or what, but there's an AC joint injury, so he is not likely to play, which unfortunately means it's going to be the Jake Browning show, and I'm not liking my pick because of that. Again, I made this pick prior to the injury report coming down, because if you guys don't know, I usually make my picks on Tuesday, because that's when I try to type up everybody's picks for the week. I get the standings done, my picks made, other people's picks written up on Tuesday. So anything that comes out Tuesday evening and beyond, I just have
Mm-hmm.
no knowledge of at the time. So,
Exactly.
in pure frick the Bears vibes here, I took the Bengals because, yes.
Mhm. You might be shocked there, but you're not the only one to pick the Bengals. I picked them as well. They're just
Really?
yeah,
I'm stunned.
yeah.
I am legitimately stunned. I thought for sure that you would take the. Why did you go with the Bengals?
I don't know. They're coming off that huge loss to the Ravens.
You
I
know
feel
what? Yeah,
they let me down there.
that's fair. And so you're going to give them another shot. I feel you because that's kind of how I am with a lot of teams. Like,
Yeah,
okay, you let me down this week. I'm still going
hmm
to believe in you though.
yeah,
So I'm with you on that. I think my reasoning is one, it was the Bears. Two,
hmm
the Bengals are at home.
yeah,
And three, I do think that them losing to the Jets, being the team that gave the winless their first win,
yeah,
hopefully will light a bit of a fire under their butt and they can
yeah,
actually, ball out. Even if it is Jake Browning, hopefully they can
yeah.
actually do good things. So,
There's hope.
all right, well, that was a shock.
Mm-hmm.
Fully thought we'd split there.
Yeah,
So, game three is my game where the Lions will be hosting division rival Minnesota Vikings.
yeah. The now the story with the Vikings is obviously Carson Wentz is done for the season with an injury there. So
Yep.
bring time to bring back J.J. McCarthy at the helm.
Yeah, and what a team for him to get his start against.
Mhm.
Like, oh dear. Um, but the Vikings did also sign a veteran backup for him, so if things do get hairy, they could throw
Yeah,
him in. I do not remember his name right now. I should have written that down, but
yeah,
it's been a day, so I did not
true,
prepare
true. And
with names. But
yeah, and obviously the Lions' big story is they just re-signed Aiden Hutchinson to a new deal there. So
I
what is,
I
yeah,
got that notification while I was still in bed, and I hopped up and ran in to let Dad know.
hmm
It's a 4-year extension, 180
hmm
mil or something guaranteed, or not
yeah,
guaranteed, but 180 million, 141 is guaranteed. So
hmm
huge contract,
yeah,
45 mil a season, definitely worth.
hmm
And the fact that the Lions are showing competent ownership is not something that I've really had a lot of in my lifetime.
yeah,
And it's really, really making me happy. So I'm proud of that. Now there's only
yeah,
a few more players I have to shore up, and then
yeah,
from then on it's just draft picks. So
exactly. Prepare for the future.
yeah, exactly. We will see what they do. I'm hoping that they can shore up Gibbs soon. Brian
hmm
Branch is definitely needed, and then also I would like Jack Campbell. Alex Anzalone, I feel like is always on the outside looking in. Unfortunately, like he deserves a
Yeah,
contract as well, but
yeah,
there's unfortunately there's not a lot of money to go around.
true.
Um,
So
so
they won't make a splash in the trade deadline, basically.
no,
Yeah,
no. I mean they have the fourth highest cap space left, so they can
hmm
still do some things if they wanted to, but that's not their style. I don't expect them to go out and bring in some big name free agent like a Trey
yeah,
Hendrickson or something. Like I don't expect that at all. Um,
yeah,
they take care of their players first.
yeah. So this week, I imagine we'll be in agreement and take the Lions at home to beat the Vikings.
Yep, we will. There was absolutely no way I was going with Minnesota here. Now, I will
hmm
say though, this is the epitome of a trap game
Yeah,
because JJ McCarthy knows Aiden Hutchinson very well.
hmm
Aiden Hutchinson just got paid, which, as we know, when
hmm
players finally make bank, their production all of a sudden starts to decline.
hmm
We're going to assume that Hutch doesn't do that because he's a baller.
yeah,
But I do think that this easily could be a trap. Minnesota is not anybody to be taken lightly. I know their offensive line isn't that great right now,
hmm
and so it should be sealed and a done deal,
hmm
but they're always going to be a little bit scary, especially in a division game. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions drop it,
yeah,
but I'm not going to go with the Vikings. So
yeah.
All right. Well, staying in the North now, we have Game 4 of the Carolina Panthers and the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah. Uh, Obviously, the question is for the Panthers is how healthy Bryce Young's going to be there because we still don't know at this time if he'll be playing there.
Yeah, that's true. When I was looking at my fantasy team, one of my super flex leagues that I'm in,
Mm-hmm.
I was looking to get another quarterback because
Mm-hmm.
Baker Mayfield's on the bye and I kind of need somebody. And
Mm-hmm.
Bryce Young was one of the options, but he was still listed as questionable. However,
Mm-hmm.
Andy Dalton was projected to get 0 points. So I think that the assumption is that Bryce Young will play. How
Yeah.
much of a difference that's going to make?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not a very big one. And I think the Packers are just cruising on their schedule.
Yeah.
And assuming they don't play down to the Panthers, they should destroy them.
Yeah. And obviously, Packers coming off that huge, shocking win over the Steelers there on Sunday night there.
Admittedly, there were a couple of officiating issues in that game as well. The Packers were blatantly offsides,
Mm-hmm.
and it was not called, which negated their momentum from the Steelers because they should have given them a fresh set of downs and all.
Mm-hmm.
So they should have been able to ice the game off of that, or at least, stretch the lead a little bit further. But the refs being the refs,
Mm-hmm.
let it go. So
Yeah.
I am a little bit annoyed that I went with Aaron Rodgers, and the one time that I was actually relying on him to do something, he did nothing.
Yeah.
Also, the Steelers' defense did nothing, and
Yeah.
I thought their defense was supposed to be good this year, but I guess not.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That game
Yeah.
was frustrating as well.
True. So for me this week, I'm going to go with the Pack at home to slaughter the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, unfortunately, I am in agreement. I would love for the Panthers to win because I think it'd be funny, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that this Packers team doesn't deserve to be in first place,
True.
given that they have less wins than the people behind them do.
Yeah.
So
True.
it feels really weird. And if Carolina wants to fix things and give them a loss, or even funnier, another tie, I'd be here for it.
Yeah.
All right, next up should be a gimme. We have the Titans hosting the Chargers.
Yeah, this one's a no-brainer there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it is as well. I'm just going to go ahead and write down the Chargers for you right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I was so excited for Tennessee coming into the season. I really was. And then they just kind of fizzled and did nothing. But in bright spot news, I guess, Calvin Ridley is healthy, I think.
Yeah.
He was still listed as questionable last I seen, but
Yeah.
in theory, he'll be able to play and be good to go.
Yeah.
For what good that does you.
Yeah.
Which, spoiler, not much.
No.
All right, so moving on then, really quickly, we have game 6, and it is the frickin' Falcons going to the Patriots.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl rematch from the biggest choke ever.
True. Yeah. Because I don't know what happened to the Falcons last week. I put my eggs in their basket there, and all I got was broken eggs there.
Yeah. Throw all the eggs in that basket, and they came back to you scrambled. I just don't understand what Atlanta is doing, besides making my life a living
You
furnace.
know what?
Yeah. It's so bad. I'm just gonna say the Patriots just to get it out of the way, so I don't have to talk about the Falcons anymore. I'm just gonna go with the Patriots right now. So
Yeah.
I'm done with you, Atlanta.
Yeah. True. Yeah. You come out guns blazing, Drake May.
Please. Now I say that, and they're gonna lose, and it's gonna be his fault. I just know it. But also, please. I hate my jinxing powers sometimes.
Yeah.
But hey, speaking of that, our next game is where I get to talk about that rather heavily. We have the 49ers and the Giants.
Yeah. I I just didn't know what happened to the Niners last week there. I don't know if the injury budget's
I don't
finally
know.
catching up to
Well,
their
I think
offense.
I was watching Tom Grossi, I think it was. Or was it Benchwarmer? It might have been Benchwarmer Brian. I'm not sure. I watch a lot of like smaller, like various NFL creators. And somebody said that McCaffrey was not Superman.
Yeah.
And when he's not Superman, the team kind of looks like the, walking hospital that they are.
Sure.
So I think they're relying so heavily on CMC that once you shut that aspect of their game down, their offense is pretty much non-existent. So I think people finally kind of figured that out. I don't know why it took them until week 8 to figure that out, but
True.
It happens.
Yeah. And obviously, with the Giants there, the big story was the scary injury to Scattaboo last week there.
Yeah, that's why I'm sorry. Before I get into the funny haha reason that he got hurt, the referees not calling that tush push fumble the clear and evident fumble that it was is kind of why Scattaboo was in the position that he was in the first place. Because if that would have been a fumble recovery for the Giants, they would have had a different field position and they wouldn't have ran that kind of play that he could get a hip drop tackle that blew his ankle out, So I think that the refs definitely play a key role there because they wouldn't have been in that kind of position. They would have just been pounding the rock and handing off and running, Giant style football had they actually gotten that fumble recovery. And I don't understand why they called it forward progress and didn't give them the fumble when they quite literally took it out of Jalen Hurts' hands.
Yeah.
The refs in that game were so bad and so slanted towards the Eagles. It reminded me of Chiefs games, So it was horrible.
Yeah.
And then now we can kind of get to the funny. I sort of did a thing. I ran an experiment. Y'all know that I have this Joy Jinx thing that I do. So I ran an experiment and I left Cam Scattaboo in my gallery that I have. You guys don't need to know about that. But I have a gallery, and so I left him in it. And I'm like, I'm not going to remove him from this until after the Eagles game because I want to see just how powerful this Jinx really is.
True.
And then he broke his ankle and he's out for the season. So experiment was a success, I guess. I figured that out. And I've since deleted it because I don't need to experiment anymore. But so I felt bad. Draz said that we can't be friends anymore because I ruined his fantasy because he was kind of riding with Scattaboo for a while and I hurt him. So I'm sorry. Sorry, Draz. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be so hard for them to combat. Just, getting back to kind of a more serious topic. I feel bad for Jackson Dart.
Sure. A lot of his weapons there are pretty much done for the season there.
Yeah, I mean, they're falling down around him. Like, they lost Malik Neighbors early on, and then he built up such a good rapport with Scattaboo. Their headbutt when Scattaboo was on the cart as he was about to get driven away, their headbutt that they shared was enough to make, a football guy cry. It was heartbreaking to see. So
exactly.
It hurt me to watch that.
Yeah.
Hit me right in the feels,
Yeah.
True. But for this game, because of the injury and just the overall bounce back effect, I am taking the 49ers, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants pull off a win here.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that there.
Yeah. Like, I want the Giants to win, mostly because I feel bad for what happened with Skat. And I want, like, Jackson Dart to have, like, a career-defining kind of I am here game.
Yeah.
Because there was some talk in commentary during that game that, like, when you're facing the adversity, how you adapt to it is what shows you as an actual quarterback, not just a game manager. And right now, all he was doing was managing the game. He wasn't actually stepping up to be the guy. And this might be a good chance for him to step up and show that he is that guy, because now you have to adapt on the fly to, losing your players and motivating your team and being that one. So I wouldn't be surprised if he could pull it off, but I'm going with San Francisco anyway.
Yeah.
All right, next game up, we have the Colts and the Steelers.
With the Colts there, obviously the big story is Indianapolis Jones there, and obviously Jonathan Taylor there putting in MVP offense there.
Thank you for that, because honestly, I think that there's a lot of talk about how great Jonathan Taylor has been this season, but he's still not really in MVP talks, and I think that's just purely disrespectful.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone in the media and the fans and stuff are giving all the credit to Daniel Jones, which, sure, he's balling out this season, right?
True.
But that offense runs through, quite literally, Jonathan Taylor. And without him on that field, that offense is subpar, So I think people need to start getting with the program and recognizing that Jonathan Taylor is that offense.
Exactly. There. Yeah. And obviously with the Steelers there, I don't know what happened with Aaron Rodgers there last week there.
Well, I mean, like I said, with the offsides that wasn't called, which stalled their momentum on that drive, I think that was definitely a big part of it. But it wasn't really Rodgers that was bad so much as the defense. And that pains me to say because, I hate me some Rodgers, but that game wasn't entirely Rodgers' fault. It wasn't entirely the defense's fault either. Rodgers was definitely in the wrong on some of the things. Some of the things that he said about his receiver, not a big fan of that.
And
I think the DK.
Know what happened with DJ Watt there.
Yeah, that's what gets me, is that their defense was supposed to be good and they just weren't. And if you can't handle Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love with whatever receiving core they have, that's not just Romeo Doubs.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I know what it was. It was Tucker Kraft. They had absolutely no answer for the tight end that is Tucker Kraft. And I really wish that they could have shut him down because he destroyed me in the fantasy league that I'm in with Draz and SDS, and he single-handedly gave SDS the win. So I appreciate you so much, Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Sure.
And now they're facing a team that has another really good tight end in Tyler Warren and a really good running back in Jonathan Taylor. So this is going to be hard for them. It's going to be a really, really big challenge for Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So for me this week, I'm going to go with my specialty here, the 3-point or less rule, and I'm going to take the Indianapolis Colts to shock the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I want to. I really do.
Yeah.
But I'm going to choose to trust in Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers at home.
So we have our first split.
We do. I'm trusting them because they are at home, and I think that their defense is going to bounce back, and I think that the offense will be fine. They could use another wide receiver, of course, but they have DK Metcalf, who is a freak. They have two tight ends who's good. Jalen Warren's not bad, and hopefully they can just kind of, methodically pick apart the Colts defense, because I know that the Colts have a really, really high-powered offense, but I'm not entirely sold on their defense right now. So I am unfortunately going to trust the Steelers.
Okay.
I dropped my pen again. That's probably a sign that I shouldn't have done that and gone with the Steelers. So
yeah,
the universe was telling me no. All right, so now we move on to the other game that I'm looking forward to, but also incredibly nervous about. We have the Broncos going to the Texans.
Yeah, like I said before, this could be a minor game of the week candidate there with two good quarterbacks in Bo Nix and CJ Stroud there.
I think it could be. If the Texans had a good offensive line, this would be a very, very good game.
True. So don't be surprised if they do something before the trade deadline there to help out their offense there.
I hope that they do. That would give me a lot of faith in them going forward.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I don't see them actually doing anything worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had their chances to address this need in the offseason and in the draft, and they didn't.
No.
So I have no faith in them doing so before the trade deadline, unfortunately.
Yeah. And obviously, the Broncos are playing lights out there, and I heard they recently signed a tight end that's 41 years old and played for the Bears recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. I did not hear anything about that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing coming out of Denver that I heard was, unfortunately, Surtain is hurt and is not going to play, which hurts their defense a lot. Their secondary just got heavily downgraded.
Yeah.
But so what do you think about this game then?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going with my 3-point or less rule there and take the Broncos on the road to beat the Texans.
All right, good. I also took the Broncos. Mm-hmm. I decided that I don't have to play the protection game this time. I do think that having the secondary be weakened now that they've lost Surtain is definitely going to hurt. But I trust their defensive line to get to Stroud. And I think there's going to be a defensive battle more so than an offensive battle. I think that both offenses are going to struggle in this game, unfortunately, because I do like Denver. But I do think that the Houston Texans defense is very good. And so they will struggle. But I just trust that Denver's defense can get to Stroud more than Houston's defense can get to Nix.
Yeah.
All right. Next one, I'm not loving the game. I feel bad. We have the Jaguars and the Raiders.
Yeah, this one's to turn your set off right now.
Kind of. Yeah, I kind of can agree with you on that one. It's not exactly a fun game.
I'm just hoping this week Trevor Lawrence and the Jags there come out and make the Raiders look amateurish.
To be fair, the Raiders do a really good job of doing that on their own. So I mean, the Jaguars could show up at 50% and they'd still probably come away with a win here. Unfortunately for the Raiders, both teams are coming off of their bye, so you don't even get the advantage of rest. So I think we're definitely going to be in agreement on this one, and we're taking the Jags just because the Raiders are so bad this season. And again, I had so many high hopes for them too, just like I did with Tennessee. I had so many high hopes for this team, and they just have done nothing. All right, so then next up, we have the Saints and the Rams. Yeah, on the Saints side of things, they have decided to go with, I believe his name is pronounced Tyler Shuck.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how his last name is pronounced. A troll, you can let me know if you're watching at this point. I think it's Shuck. But so they're going with a rookie over Spencer Rattler. Now, do you think that that's going to really help?
Yeah. Obviously, Rattler couldn't prove himself a starter there. And obviously...
I mean, he had 8 weeks to do it.
Yeah. And obviously, the Rams there are gunning for the first place in the NFC West there, obviously.
Yeah, it's a race between them and Seattle, and I think the Rams' schedule kind of favors them a little bit more right now.
Sure.
Particularly for this week, I think they got really lucky. Off of their bye, I think it is. They're coming off their bye as well. They are. They're coming off their bye to host New Orleans. And they're getting Puka Nacua back more than likely as well. So it's just kind of a recipe for the disaster. Now, I do think that the Saints winning would be fun. I would be here for that. Getting the rookie his first win on his first official start. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, it would
But
be.
I'm going with the Rams. So
Yeah, 100% agree with you. Lock it in.
yeah, I kind of figured that'd be a quickie.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way we were splitting.
Yeah.
This one we might though, because this is the matchup every year.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Chiefs and the Bills.
Obviously, the big story with the Chiefs this week there is the injury to Isaac Pachenko there. So Chiefs won't
Yeah.
have him there playing.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt him a little bit, but honestly I think that most of that team runs through the passing game and their defense.
True.
And they do still have Kareem Hunt, which is nice. So like he's gonna get to take most of the load now.
Yeah.
Which should be fine.
Yeah. Obviously, obviously also their receivers there in Rice and Kelsey there.
Yeah, Kelsey as the tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. I don't know. Like I'm so tired of Kansas City. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. True.
Now I think the fact that they're going to be on the road is going to be helpful.
Sure.
I think it's going to help a lot because you're not going to really have the home field advantage, the ref advantage, and that kind of thing. So it does lean more towards the Bills actually being able to be having a shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, on Kansas City, their offense is starting to click a little bit better. Unfortunately, having them add Rice back in was helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want it to be, but you can't deny that he was an integral part of their offense. And so I expect Kareem Hunt to take, like I said, most of the load, and then it's going to mostly just be Rice, Xavier Worthy. Travis Kelce, of course, is going to be a phantom threat out there, I think. He's going to like draw a lot of players off.
Yeah, true.
And then we still have the refs getting involved. So we'll see how that all does.
Sure.
And then the Bills, James Cook was really, really good last week. Now, it was against Carolina, but still, he finally started to pop off.
Yeah. Putting up that 40 burger there was no fluke there.
Exactly. Now, again, it wasn't a fluke, but it was against Carolina, so it's going to be way different facing the defense of Kansas City.
Yeah.
Kansas City last week did beat up on Washington after Jaden Daniels got hurt again. And they had to play Mariota, and then their running back did pretty much nothing. And Terry McLaurin is hurt again, so he must have gotten hurt during that game, and they won 28-7. So they handled them very well. So their defense is still a problem.
Yeah.
But what say you for Chiefs and Bills?
Yeah, I'm going to give it my specialty again, the 3-point or less rule, and I'm going to go with the Bills at home to beat the Chiefs there.
Okay. We did not split. I thought we might, but we did not. I really, really thought we would have a chance to split on this one.
Yeah.
The Steelers is going to be our only split, isn't it?
Probably.
I'm so sad about that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of Washington, as I talked about them during the Chiefs game, Sunday Night Football will be Washington hosting Seattle coming off of their bye.
Yeah. Obviously, with the Commanders, they might get Jaden Daniels back in their lineup on Sunday night there.
He's questionable, but he might be able to go. If he does, it's going to definitely improve their chances. I just, the Commanders have been one of the most disappointing teams of the year, honestly.
Yeah. Hard to say with them.
Well, no, it's just they've just been really disappointing. They came in with so many expectations from how they did last year. Like they went to the NFC Championship game, and they've done pretty much nothing similar to an NFC Championship team this season. So I don't know. They've fallen off. I do think injuries definitely played a role in that because Terry McLaurin has been hurt a lot this season. And And then Jaden Daniels has been off and on a lot this season, so that
Mhm.
definitely hurt them. But
Yeah.
that being said, Seattle is just that team for me this
Mhm.
season. They have everything going their way. Everything's put together
Yeah.
very well. They're a solid team.
Yeah.
Their run game is maybe their biggest flaw, but I
Yeah.
actually like both of their running backs. So I know that everybody's dissing on them, but
Yeah.
I actually like Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet. So
Yeah. True. Yeah.
maybe that's just me.
Yeah. And you mustn't forget Debo Samuel for the Commanders there.
Yeah, exactly. So Debo will be taking most of the receptions since Terry McLaurin is out.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So, I mean, they do have at least a good number one receiver that they can rely on.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that facing Seattle's defense is going to be a problem. Regardless, I think it's going to be hard.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. But for me, I'm going to go with a little bit of a shocker there. I'm going with the Commanders at home to upset the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay. Let me go ahead and type that up because I'm surprised. I went with Seattle. So we do have a split that is not just the Steelers game. Good.
Yeah. Second split there, yeah.
Good. That makes me happy.
John there.
He'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be fine. There's going to be probably a lot of people calling this as an upset. Mm-hmm. I could easily see that. So, I don't know. I really do like Seattle this year. And so I'm going to kind of go with that.
Okay.
All right. Now, Monday Night Football is a weird one. We have the Cardinals and the Cowboys.
Yeah, because obviously these are two teams we don't know what's going on with them there.
Yeah, Dallas needs a defense. If only they had a generational talent pass rusher that could have actually helped them now that their offense is clicking.
Yeah, I heard Jerry Jones said he's shopping for a defensive player at the trade deadline there.
You know, you had one, but you didn't want to pay him.
Parsons there, and you trade him to the Packers there.
Yeah, thanks so much for that, by the way. Thanks, Jerry. Mm-hmm. Hate you. And then on Arizona's side, the run game is just abysmal, and they really have to start having some questions at the quarterback position still, because it ran better with Jacoby Brissett than it did with Kyler Murray a couple weeks back, and just I don't know. In general, the Cardinals are another one of those teams that you just don't really know what to do with. So this is a really confusing Monday night game.
It is.
But I'm going to trust the Cowboys because they're in Jerry world, and I don't trust Arizona. I have no feelings one way or the other on Arizona.
We're going to be in agreement there, and I'm taking the Cowboys as well.
All right, cool. That's good. So we do have two splits, which is good because even number splits are always better than odd.
True. Yeah. We shall see how they fare out there this week there.
Yeah. Hopefully all goes well.
True.
Let me just write the Cowboys down for you real quick. Okay.
Okay. So that's how we feel about our picks this week. It's time to find out what our friends feel with their picks.
Yep, it is. I'm still waiting for one person to send theirs in, so if he sends his in while we're talking, I'll just read that.
Okay.
But I have everybody else done, so.
Okay.
Let me scroll on down to the order list. First up, we have John.
Yeah, obviously a huge thank you to John there this week because he checked in on me during that 18-inning marathon game between the Blue Jays and Dodgers there.
Yep. He checked in with Steve to see how he was holding up. He messaged me, our group chat. Oh my God! All right, on to the 18th, and I'm like, because I just woke up when I seen it, and I'm like, 18th what? And then I checked, and it's like, oh my God, 18 innings is insane.
Yeah, all the pitchers must have been tired that time.
Oh my God, it's so good that they have a pitching rotation. So the same player didn't have to go back out there 17 hours later, you know?
Mm-hmm, true.
My gosh, those poor players. But all right, so We have John's picks, and he took the Ravens, the Bears, because Flacco is likely out, and he does hope that it is an FTB moment.
Yeah.
You and me both. And then he took the Lions, Packers, Chargers, Pats, Niners, Colts, the Texans, an upset of the week, the Jags, Rams, the Chiefs, because yes, and the Seahawks and Cowboys. Then we have SDS, who took the Ravens. We're going to have a Freaky Friday BS in the AFC North, aren't we?
Probably.
Probably. The Bengals, the 49ers, the Chargers, saying upset alert though. Chargers always drop games like this.
Oh.
The Lions, Packers, the Patriots with a final score of 28-3. The Colts, Indiana Jones, and the Pittsburgh retirement home. And then I abstain from choosing Broncos versus Texans. I'm rooting for a meteor. So I guess he's choosing nothing. He hates both of those teams. For those of you who do not know, he hates the Broncos because of Sean Payton, and he hates the Texans because of CJ Stroud. So you both lose.
Yeah. So he's going to take the loss with that one.
Yep. Pretty much, yeah. Unless they tie, in which case they'd be the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
I don't know what we do in that situation. Like, if he doesn't choose either one and they tie, does that like negate itself? Like, I don't know what we do there. So
no idea.
I think he just loses. He has an automatic loss either way.
Yeah.
All right, and then he has the Rams, the Jags, the Bills, because it happens every year, the Seahawks, and the Cardinals. This is our Monday Night Football game. Unfortunately, yes, the NFL is great. All right, and then we've got Buff, who took the Ravens, Niners, Chargers, Lions, Pats, Colts, Broncos, Bengals, Packers, Rams, Jags, Bills, Seahawks, and Cards. Followed by Papa Agron, who took the Ravens, 49ers, Chargers, Lions, Patriots, Colts, Broncos, Bengals, Packers, Rams, Jaguars, Bills, Seahawks, and his Cowboys. Followed then by Churro.
I always like to hear from him.
Yep. Nothing snarky this week, which is nice. He's got the Dolphins, Bears, Vikings, Panthers, Titans, Falcons, Giants, Steelers, so I'm not alone, thank you. Texans, Raiders, his Saints, the Chiefs, Seahawks, and the Cardinals. And then we have Beegers, who is who I was waiting on. He should be sending them in very shortly. So if he does send them in while I'm editing, I will go ahead and pop them up, but I can't read them out right now.
Yeah.
So
obviously, a huge apologies to him for me picking the Bears there last week there.
Yeah, he forgives. He forgives. He pretended to be really mad and in the comments, busting a caps lock on you, but that's just how he does. He's kind of similar to me with how I treat my friends. So we have a very similar friendship. All right, and then we have Rev, who took the Ravens, Bengals, Lions, Packers, Chargers, Broncos, 49ers, Colts, Patriots, Rams, Jags, Bills, Seahawks, and the Cardinals, because, F the Cowboys. Valid and understood. And then we've got Owl, who took the Dolphins, Bears, Lions, Panthers, Titans, Patriots, 49ers, Steelers, Broncos, Raiders, Rams, Chiefs, Commanders, and Cowboys. So once again, Owl is out here with all the upsets. Hoping to gain some ground, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that works out for you. Good luck. And then we have Draz, who again, I'm sorry about Skataboo. I am so sorry.
My sympathies to him.
Yeah. I hurt your boy. I'm sorry. But Draz took the Ravens to beat the Dolphins. 49ers beat the Giants. Probably obvious reasons. Again, I am so sorry. The Chargers to beat the Titans. Lions beat the Vikes. Pats beat Falcons. Colts are going to bully the Steelers defense. Broncos beat the Texans. Bengals beat Bears. Packers beat the Panthers. The Rams are going to bully the Saints. Jags beat Raiders. Chiefs beat the Bills. Seahawks beat the Commanders. And the Cowboys beat the Cards. And then finally, we have Alex Faye with the Ravens, Niners, Chargers, Vikings, Falcons, Colts, Broncos, Bears, Packers, Rams, Raiders, Bills, Commanders, and Cards. And that is going to do it for week 9 of our NFL predictions. It's going to be a really interesting week, I think. There's definitely a lot of upset potential. I'm a little concerned about the Broncos game, but hopefully all goes well on that.
Me too. Obviously, to all our fans, please like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell for all our videos on here, and catch our conversations on Spotify there.
Yep, exactly. The Spotify upload will be at 10 a.m. on Thursday, followed by the YouTube version, which usually has some extra edits and not just the audio version. If y'all are interested in watching the actual video, that will be at noon on Thursday.
True.
And also, you can check out the join button if you guys want to become a member and also have your name scrolling up on the top of the screen, like the lovely supporters that you see here. That would be greatly appreciated, but there's absolutely no pressure. If any of those perks are something you might be interested in, go ahead and check those out. And we will catch you guys next week for week 10, double digits of the Pride and Joy Predictions podcast.
Thank you. I'll see you all next week.